Hey, what's up guys, it's Greg, and we're going to continue right along with my video series titled My Medical Journey. And in my last video, I essentially discussed the rest of 2017. Obviously 2017 was a huge year, and we closed that out. And going into 2018, starting in January, I had actually started to take more time off work, pretty much just because I was tired. After going through everything and the stuff that I discussed in my previous video. And January was pretty uneventful. It felt like, for me, it was, just relax, rest up, and you never know what's in store. So January was a good month, just a lot of resting and recovering. So, going into February, everything, was pretty darn good. The cancer continues to be in check. We did another scan in January, and that came back, again, showing the cancer that was remaining was stable. So there was no need to continue to start up treatment again or anything. So in January, I wasn't even on treatment at the time. So in February, it was a Sunday. I think it was probably the beginning of the second week in February. And it was a Sunday night. Maureen and I are getting ready for the week, just like everybody else. And I believe we went to bed between probably 9:30 and 10. And all I remember is waking up sometime later. I don't know the exact time. And all I remember is that Maureen is standing over me. I'm covered in blood. And Maureen is telling me, you just had 2 seizures. And I didn't even know what to say. I mean, when you had these seizures, I really was still out of it at the time. I mean, I remember her saying it. Her saying that, we're going to take you in an ambulance to the hospital. But that's about it. I was in a lot of pain. I think before I get too much more into the story, it's probably worth discussing seizures. So not every seizure is the same. There are some, and I won't go through the exact names, but there are some seizures where it's, the patient just kind of zones out and can't comprehend anything that they're hearing. But there's no significant physical impact of the seizure. And there are some other seizures where it's, it's like passing out. And there are some seizures, that patients have that they don't even know that they're having. That was not the case for these seizures. These were full-blown grand mal seizures. The first, I had 2 of them. So both of them were between 1 to 2 minutes in length. You have a grand mal seizure, which is what I had. You have the convulsing, very, very hard physically on the body because of all the convulsing, muscle contractions, even saying stuff, yelling. I experienced all of these. So this is, again, these are not, minor seizures. These are significant and major seizures, and I'm going to go into more detail as we get along in my medical journey. So I was taken to the hospital in Kansas City because that's where we were at the time. And, they basically told us, go back to your medical team in St. Louis and, try to figure out what's going on. So the very next day, we hightailed it to St. Louis. And, we went to the ER there, and we also got an MRI there. The MRI didn't show anything structurally wrong with my brain. It didn't find any tumors. So basically, it was a negative MRI. There was nothing that would indicate that where the seizures are coming from or what's causing the seizure. So at this point, we're not even sure if it's epilepsy. And after talking with a few of the doctors in the ER, they basically said that typically you don't start treating someone for epilepsy until after they have more than 1 seizure. The reason for this is because people can have seizures and they don't necessarily have a seizure disorder. Medication can trigger a seizure. Things like extreme fatigue, low blood pressure, heat stroke. Again, these are not, you may not think that they're significant, but occasionally a person will have a seizure that's driven by one of those things. So in that case, they don't want to start putting you on seizure medication because it's possible that you may not have another one, and they don't want to unnecessarily treat you with seizure medication if you don't need it. So at this point, we really wanted, that treatment because we didn't want to have another seizure, but, that's all we could really do at that point. So went back to stay with my parents because that's what we were doing when we were in St. Louis, staying with them. And things quieted down for about 2 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and leave off here today. In my next video, we'll be talking about the next hospital stay, the next seizure, and starting seizure medication. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this was a more intense video, but it's been good for me, at least for me, hopefully for you to revisit it. Questions, comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.